you have just joined us, it is Friday. And man, tell me it's Friday without telling me it is indeed Friday. Excited for today. Today at quarter past 4, we are talking to Hilton Greg. He's the lead singer and the band leader for 24 Skies. I want to say a very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Fast Lane.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect.
What is it like when you're hearing yourself over the radio?
Well, I've got my AirPods on at the moment, and my wife is driving me in the car, so I actually can't hear myself.
Oh man. Not to worry, not to worry. But this afternoon, we're excited to be chatting to you about your new EP, and it is entitled Rule and Reign. Can you tell us a little bit about that creative process
It's
behind your new EP?
yeah, it's actually not an EP; it's a full record. We had
Full record.
planned to do an EP, which is normally kind of a 5 or 6 songs. And when
Yeah,
we started the writing process, because we've done two full records and then one EP, but when we started writing for this, after the crazy few years that we had, there were a lot of songs that just came out. So we wrote, I don't know, 30 plus songs, and we were going to fine tune them down. We always do a yes, no, maybe kind of group for the songs, that we landed with these 11
yeah.
that we just felt we wanted to record all of them. And then we just needed to trust for the budget for that as well. But there were 11 that we just really felt like needed to go on a record. And then it turned from an EP into a full album. And there's something about a full album that's still special. I think the journey of it,
Mm,
listening to it start to finish. I think we're in a day and age now where, it's all about singles, which we've just released our first single, Freedom for My Soul. But there is something in the journey of listening to this record start to finish. It tells a story.
indeed. And talking about Freedom for My Soul, how does that new single differ from the previous releases?
Um, it's hard to say. I mean, people have said it's still the 24 Skies sound, which is
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just unique to who we are. There's always a bit of a hint of Africa on some of the stuff, but I do think that these are our most raw, honest, real songs. I think it's our most progressive work that we've done. We've actually underproduced the album. We wanted the songs to shine. But I think we've matured. I think there's always a lot of pressure, when you grow as an artist in a band, to keep kind of churning out songs that people are used to. But this, honestly, we feel is probably, yeah, we're most proud of this, to be
Mm.
honest.
And then still on Freedom for My Soul, can you talk to us a bit about the rewriting of the bridge and how it impacted the final version of the song?
Yeah, it was funny because so Graydon and Tom, the guitarist and one of the singers, they are incredible writers. So they wrote a lot of these songs. They work really well together. And if they stuck on something, they often pull me in. I sometimes came in to write, together. But this particular song, they needed a bridge. So how we write is we'll write a verse and a chorus and a thought, and then we progress it from there if we feel there's something in it. Because sometimes you can spend all your time finishing a song and it doesn't even make the album. So if there's something there, we park it and then we come back to it, especially in writing for an album. So this bridge, we wrote a bridge, and I don't know, there was just something about it that wasn't sitting well. Then we wrote another one, and then we are like, okay. And then when we were over in the UK finishing the album, Tom, who helped produce the album with us and plays all the guitars, he was like, nah, I don't know if I like it. We were like, oh, come on. So eventually the fourth bridge we wrote is the one that stuck. And funny enough, it's probably the strongest bridge we've ever written. So that tells you something. Just continue and persist,
Wow.
and you might
Yeah.
end up with something that you're really proud of.
And then how has your faith and the membership in Open Skies Church influenced your songwriting?
Well, it's everything. When we're a worship band, worship 24 Skies comes from, I mean, our church is called Open Skies, and the off ramp to our church is Exit 24. And we really write songs for what God's saying and doing in our church. We don't always sing all the songs in church, but a lot of them we do sing. So it's shaped for that. And if they ever go beyond the walls of our church, we stoked. If not, it doesn't really matter.
Sisi.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Hi, my name is Zanele. Let me just ask you one question.
Hello,
I'm
Zanele.
excited. Hi
Yes.
there. Hi. Can you also maybe discuss with us the experience of recording both in South Africa and in the UK, and also working with the production team of Brendan Rousseau and Pete Hutchings? How was that?
Yes. Yeah, we found such a winning combination in those two guys. Brendan, he's actually from Cape Town.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's been involved in Peculiar People days. That's when I met him. He was doing sound for them. You guys remember Peculiar People, don't you, from Fisher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a legend in the music industry. I mean, when One Republic came to South Africa, when Michael W. Smith came here, they used him to record, and he's produced all the Matthew Mole records, and he's now in the UK. So we've always worked with him. He's helped engineer our album. So we've got a studio back home at our church, and now that he's in the UK, we love to go over there and finish the process, because we work with another guy called Pete Hutchins, who is just a legend. I mean, he mixed Beatenberg, Gangs of Ballet, but he works with a lot of massive artists. One he's just recently produced as a rock band called Royal Blood, a big band in the UK. And because of him, I mean, we actually got the Mumford and Sons drummer to play on this record because of his connection. So we loved it. So we went over to Hereford in the UK, up on the Welsh border, and it was just beautiful spending like 10 days there, finishing. We did most of the vocals there and finished everything up. And those guys are just legends. They're just so professional and brilliant. So there's a hybrid between South Africa and the UK.
Wow. Always been like that. I love it. Then I also want to find out from you, your previous album, First Light, it had several hits in South African radio, including the number one, which was My Hope.
My Hope, yes.
Do you feel any pressure? Do you feel any pressure to live up to that success with your new release? How's it feeling now?
Well, it's so funny because My Hope, we heard that you guys really played that a lot, because you know how I know is because all the Shazams that come from Cape Town. How's that? So
it's our pleasure.
We attribute that to CCFM. So thank you for playing our song, and we heard that you guys really enjoyed that song. So we really appreciate that. But yeah, I mean that song. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't really like feel the pressure, you know. We just love music, we love God, and we just do it for fun. And but yeah, we'll see where this one goes. I had some meetings recently in Nashville, in the US, and we're trying to be intentional really, and see what God can do with these songs, because we can't just expect them to get out there, because there's so much music out there in the world today. I mean, everything's on Apple Music and Spotify, but now what distinguishes this? So yeah, anyway, this is my first radio interview for this new album. And so thank you for it, and thank you for playing our music.
We absolutely love it.
Yeah, can you share any upcoming plans or projects for 24 Skies?
We're actually trying to figure that out. So we're doing our official album launch in 2 or 3 weeks' time. We've done like a pre-launch just with some close family, friends, and investors into our projects, where we tell some stories around the songs. And then we'll see. I mean, I lead a church with my wife. So does Tom, the other producer. And so we're busy. we you know, that's our normal job. But yeah, I mean, I've just got back from the US now. But we'll see. We'd really like to start traveling again. We would travel out to Hong Kong, Shanghai, to Europe a little bit, and the US. So we would like to set up some tours and maybe some local stuff as well. But we're still working on that.
Oh, wow. And then also maybe, how has the band evolved over, since 2014 when it was founded till now?
Yeah, so we've, funny enough, never really kind of said a band based on individuals. We would probably be like the idea of a movement, because it shouldn't be based on individuals for us. You know, if I I don't know, maybe I'm won't be in 24 Skies, as it evolves, and also we like that because it's otherwise, a lot of ministry, whenever it's based on an individual, there's no sustainability. So for us, we've had various people over the years come and get involved. So we've actually introduced a new vocalist on this record. She's one of our young worship leaders come through. First time recording, she wrote and sung a beautiful song called Shifting Shadows. People have really enjoyed that one as well. It's a little bit of a slower one. But and then we've had other guys involved as well. We introduced some of the guys from our Zulu community church. They came and sung on a song called Found Our Voice. It's got a bit of an African lyric in it as well. So that's, but the core of the band has pretty much stayed the same. But we have had some new people come and get involved.
And then also, can you how do you see 24 Skies fitting into the large music scene? And I know your focus is ministry, but just in terms of musicality in South Africa and beyond.
I don't know. It's such a unique thing, Christian music in South Africa. Because we, especially English Christian music, because we're competing with the Elevations and the Uniteds, and I know some of these guys. We the Kingdom or whatever.
Hello.
I think I lost you for a second there.
Just for a second. You're back. You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I think someone tried to call me. But yeah, so we competing with all these people. So I don't know where it fits in. I mean, I think sometimes we should do an Afrikaans record because then there's no one to compete with. But it's not like we're competing, to be honest. I don't know where it fits. I do feel like this could go, like get some wings. We're trusting for that. And I don't know, we'll see where it goes. I just think South Africans as well need to get behind South African artists and learn the names of the bands and the songs. I find when I go to the US, they are so supportive of their artists. But for us in South Africa, we always feel like anything that comes from over the waters is better. But there's some amazing artists and singers and songwriters in South Africa, and I just think we need to get behind them, man.
Oh, wow. That's also so true. But I also see over the years that we've actually, and I know CCFM does it quite a lot, try to play a lot of local. So we are definitely moving to that. Yes.
And
but also maybe
as production has got better, I think, because I could always, and it's happening less and less. You can tell when something's recorded in South Africa, but it's happening less and less with technology, as well as just, I think, people are progressing as engineers and producers here in South Africa. So I think that's great. And I'm so grateful for South African radio that, plays a lot of the local music.
I think definitely the standard, I want to concur, the standard has definitely bettered over the years. And I think also because of the standard that the radio was pushing for, people have they've access to much of those tools that bring them in terms of mixing and mastering. It's not as expensive as it used to be back in the day.
100%. I mean, now, we've got our own studio. So if you listen to this project, the production there, and we recorded most of it here and finished some of it in, the UK. And actually this time we got our mix engineer to master it. Before we had sent our mastering over to Sterling Sound in New York. But now with accessibility of amazing technology and gear, you can get a really great sounding project if you just know what you're doing.
Yeah. Plus you can send separates like quick fast via Dropbox or something and get it within a day or two. Yeah.
Well, that's what we did. I mean, we so when we were writing all the songs, we would do pre-production. So we would get the idea down, record it, and then send it over to Rusty in the UK, and he would even give us a thumbs up, start to work with the stuff. And it's amazing nowadays.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Daniela's one more question for you.
Yes, finally, before we let you go, can you also maybe speak to us about any particular themes or messages that are prominent in the songs on Rule and Reign?
Yeah. When you're writing a worship album, it's actually so much easier to write if you're not a Christian worship artist, because you can write about anything. Whereas with these songs, we really wanted to make them vertical. I think there's a lot of songs these days that are being sung in church others than it is about directly to God. So we wanted that to be intentional. They are vertical directional songs. Like, we're so limited in our English language with praise words. So, and we didn't want the songs to be predictable, but we really put our heads in our hands for hours and hours and hours, reworking, rewriting. And one of the things you'll pick up if you just, listen to the lyrics is we try to find unique ways to say things, unique concepts as well. Like there's a song, remember the old hymn or worship song, As the Deer Pants? So there's a song, track 2,
Yes.
called Lord I Long. So we kind of re-looked at that whole thing. But there's strong themes of like freedom, just, celebrating the God that we serve. But there's also some really deep songs. I mean, At the Cross, there's a song, You Deserve, which is like God says, you'll have no other gods before me. So it doesn't mean that we can't love other things in life, but he just deserves our highest praise. So that was a little bit of a concept. Yes, God deserves our praise, but he deserves our highest praise. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they're all directionally worship songs. All these songs you could potentially sing in church. That's where God has called us. I think it's 24 Skies to write songs that are very specific worship songs.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Hilton from 24 Skies, telling us all about their new single, Freedom for My Soul, as well as their brand new album. Do go and check out their work. As you know, as you've Shazammed, you know that they definitely put out quality and seasonal stuff. So continue to support them, check them out. Hilton, any last words before we let you go?
Yeah, I think if you're going to play Freedom for My Soul, go check the little music video we did. That we recorded it in our little town hall in Kloof, where we're from, and it's quite fun. So it's on our YouTube channel. It's called Freedom for My Soul, and they will be releasing a few more things as they come out. And then also one of the things we wanted to do is we've captured a bit of the journey on video in terms of our process, and we really want to be a blessing to people who want to learn more about songwriting, producing, engineering, and we're going to do some guides or just our journey and our process as we've learned along the way. So look out for those. And go get the album on Spotify and Apple Music, add it there. And we're just so grateful for, and we hope it blesses you, really.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us on the Fast Lane, and have a good evening further.
Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Your daily sports report on the Fast Lane.